In this video, I'm going to discuss some of the most recent movies in my collection that I've been watching. Hey, it's me AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another video. I've got a bunch of movies I've been watching over the past couple of weeks, and some of these are like newer pickups, some of these are some of the past pickups I've had, and some of the ones that have just been sitting in the collection for quite some time. And I've watched a few of them before, and some of them are rewatches, and some of them are like fresh viewings, I suppose, for some of them. But I've got 6 movies to discuss, so let's get into the movies and see what I've been watching. So the first movie I want to discuss is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So this was the second movie in the Captain America trilogy, and starring Chris Evans, the story of Steve. I was going to say Steve Trevor then, but he's the guy from Wonder Woman, isn't it? It's Steve. I can't think of his name. I'm about Steve Rogers. God, how could I forget that name? Steve Rogers. I had Steve Rogers I had Steve Trevor. Then I was thinking of Chris Evans, and I said Steve Evans in my head, and then it's Steve Rogers. The Captain America story, then we get the return of the Winter Soldier, his best friend Bucky Barnes as the villain in this movie, and it's such a great movie. I recently watched this, picked it up recently from a charity shop on DVD, added it to the Marvel collection here, but really absolutely fantastic film. Really enjoyed it on a rewatch, and it really is such a different movie from the first one. And I even on a rewatch, I've enjoyed the first movie, but the second one is a 10 out of 10 film. It really is a top film to watch. Really enjoyed it, and just enjoyed revisiting the trilogy again and seeing this movie. And I think The Winter Soldier will, for me, go down as one of the most gripping Marvel movies out there. It's just such a gripping movie. The story, the Russo brothers directing. I think just they played out that villain, his best friend of the first movie, and the villain, this mysterious villain. And when it's the reveal, it's Bucky, and he sees him the first time. Bucky has no idea who Steve is. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Steve just sees his best friend who he thought died like 80, 70 years ago or whatever. And he sees him for the first time, and then Bucky's just like, who are you? Who are you? He doesn't have a clue. But well worth checking out. I really enjoyed that on a recent rewatch. Next up, I want to discuss Heat, starring Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Val Kilmer. Now, this is one I really do enjoy. I've watched it a few years back, not at a recent rewatch, but watched it recently from the movie collection behind me, and what an absolutely amazing crime movie. Superb crime movie. Three great actors here: Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer is an actor who I am enjoying more and more over the years from watching different movies with him in. There's more to Val Kilmer than the Batman Forever movie, isn't there? There's the Western he's in where he plays. I can't think of the Western I'm thinking of now. It escapes me. I'll put it in the text there now. I'll say which movie I'm thinking of. But basically, it's just three great performances from three great actors, and you're getting this story, this crime story of basically all the people in this. Al Pacino plays a cop. He's a good cop. He's trying to hunt down this gang who are doing these heists, and Al Pacino is the head of this gang. But really, all of these characters are played with bad things going on in their private lives, their personal lives, and that you look at all the characters in this and you just think they're all super troubled characters. But it's a really great story, directed by Michael Mann. I recently learned that this was actually a TV adaptation first of all, and the movie then was an adaptation of the TV special movie, which is really surprising to me. But Heat is great. It's got some great set pieces in here. The end heist is amazing. Well worth checking out if you've never watched Heat before. Next up, I want to discuss the BFG, the Steven Spielberg directed live-action movie of the Roald Dahl story. This is one, I think I watched it for the first time over Christmas 2021, and I picked it up more recently, and it's one I've watched since getting on DVD. And I think it's a great story. It's a world I really enjoy going into. It's just a chill-out movie for me. Family fun movie of this little girl going into this world of giants, and then the world of giants kind of like you see in this world of the BFG, the big friendly giant, and how he takes on these bad giants, and just like the story of then going into the real world and stuff. It's just a really fun story. I really like this. I think it's a great movie to chill out to. The BFG really enjoys it on the rewatch from the movie collection. Now, next on the list is a movie called Paulie. This was a 90s movie, and this was one I picked up earlier on this year, and it was sitting there. It was one I've been meaning to rewatch for a while, and remember having it on VHS back in the day, and this is like one of these kid movies that I would watch all the time as a kid growing up. Paulie on VHS, and it's a story of this parrot who talks, and basically, early on in the movie, he loses contact with his owner, and it's a story of him finding his owner again, this young girl, and it's a really good story. And I think some movies, you go back, like childhood movies, you go back and you rewatch them and you think, I can understand why I liked it as a kid, but it's kind of like, you rewatch it and you're like, oh, it's not actually that good. I feel like that with, one prime example is Jingle All the Way, the Christmas movie. I rewatched that. I loved it as a kid, rewatched it, and I was like, oh, this is not great. It's not a great Arnold movie. Like stuff like Power Rangers, the original Power Rangers show, it's quite dated now, but when you were a kid, you love that sort of stuff. But Paulie is one though I've went back to, and I've really enjoyed it. And watched this past week, and I had a lot of fun with this. And it's a comedy movie. It's a family friendly movie, very entertaining. And I think it's just there's some heartbreaking moments as well in this. It's quite a it's a heartbreaking story throughout. There's some really touching moments in this story, but well worth checking out if you've never checked out before. Paulie. The next movie I want to talk about is kind of like a short movie, a TV movie, and it is Wallace and Gromit, A Matter of Loaf and Death. This is one of the 4 short films I've got on this collection here, this nice collection, and this was the last short film to come out. Obviously, we had the feature film as well, the Were Rabbit, Curse of the Were Rabbit movie, but The Matter of a Loaf and Death, I was really very familiar with the original 3, like the Close Shave, Wrong Trousers, and the Grand Day Out. Really familiar with them, but A Matter of Love and Death was not one I was super familiar with. I probably watched it when it came on TV a couple of years back. Short film was on the BBC, and I rewatched it this morning, and I really enjoy it. I like Wallace and Gromit. I really like the animation style. I just really enjoy the stories, the characters. This man and his dog. The dog doesn't talk, but he just they're obsessed with cheese and crackers, and it's very, very British, very British, like, characters. They are British characters, and then they go on these, like, extravagant adventures throughout, and this one is where there are bakers in this, basically, and then there's, like, this serial killer killing all the bakers, and they've got to find out who the serial killer is, and it's just a fun story. It's a very short, maybe like 20-30 minutes long, but I really like it. It's like I said, I got it on this collection here. If you've never watched Wallace and Gromit anyway, check out all the Wallace and Gromit shorts and the feature film. They're all superb. The music in it, I love the music as well. It is just amazing. It's just, you can just listen to that music and it lifts you up. I find it always lifts me up anyway. But A Matter of Loaf and Death, Wallace and Gromit, well worth checking out. And I've really enjoyed watching it from the movie collection. Now, the last movie I want to discuss is Captain America Civil War. Basically, I mentioned Captain America the Winter Soldier. This was another recent pickup. The action scenes in both of these movies, Civil War and Winter Soldier, are phenomenal. But this one, it's kind of like a mini Avengers movie, isn't it? It introduces the new incarnation of Spider-Man here in this movie. We have Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man going up against Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans. And you're getting like this civil war of all the different Marvel characters. Great story. And like I said, the action scenes throughout are amazing. They're just absolutely, 10 out of 10 stuff throughout this story. But I really enjoy this. Seeing the splitting up of the Avengers is really fun to see on screen. I think it was a really well done movie. It's very different from the comic. I've read the graphic novel, and it's a very different story. But a lot of comics do that, a lot of movies do that, and I think they give us a really good version of that Civil War type storyline in this movie. I really like it. I really like this movie, and it was one that I picked up recently. It's been in the collection, but I've watched it, really enjoyed it, and I think it's a really good one to finish on in this video. So just some final thoughts on this topic today and the collection here. I think all of these I've really enjoyed. And it's not like picking two of the best here, but two that I've really have enjoyed. Winter Soldier is definitely one that out of all these, it's just one I think it is a fantastic Marvel movie. Superb Marvel movie. And Paulie, just for nostalgia. Just for nostalgia for me, out of these, I enjoyed it as a kid. A lot of memories as a kid, and it really, made me smile watching it back. It really did. It's not a grand, it's not a big budget movie. It's I'd say a very low budget movie, but it's a movie of the time. It's 90s. Don't be expecting superb CGI of a talking parrot. It's very basic, but there's something there. The nostalgia. We all have it. We all have that nostalgia of certain movies, and this one definitely for me hit me at a certain point where I was like, I like that. It brings out memories, some happy memories of watching this as a child. So I really do enjoy that movie. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie related content on the channel, and let me know your thoughts on my most recent watches from the movie collection behind me. Which of these movies do you enjoy? Which of these movies have you watched? Let me know all your thoughts on these movies, and let me know some of the movies in your collection you've been watching recently as well. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.